Welcome to the Nerdjacker's Vault, your library for intellectual wisdom. Today, we're diving into the very first book of the Materia Medica, or the Herbal, written by the brilliant Greek physician and pharmacologist, Dioscorides. This isn't just an old book. It's the foundational text for medicine and pharmacology, used for over 1,500 years. Imagine a world without labs or chemical analysis. How did they know what plants could heal you or harm you? Let's find out. Dioscorides' work is incredibly systematic. For each plant, root, or spice, he gives us a masterclass. He starts with the name, including regional variations, then paints a picture of what it looks like: its leaves, flowers, roots, even its scent. He tells you where to find it, how to check its quality, and importantly, how to spot a fake. Then comes the practical part, its medicinal uses and how to prepare it. It's like an ancient pharmacist's ultimate field guide. Let's start with the aromatics, the fragrant treasures of the ancient world. Take the iris, named for its rainbow-like flower. Dioscorides notes that the best ones come from Illyria and Macedonia. He describes it as a warming remedy, great for coughs, soothing bowel pains, and even used in cosmetics. Then there's acheron, or sweet flag. It looks a bit like an iris, but grows differently. It was used as a heating diuretic, believed to help the chest, liver, spleen, and urinary issues. The book is filled with these details. Cyperus root, best from Syria, was used for kidney stones and as a mouth ulcer powder. Cardamom, coming from as far as India, was a warming spice for coughs and nerve issues. But Dioscorides doesn't just list benefits. He gives serious warnings. He notes that cardamom was also used in fumigations to induce abortions, and that mian, another root, could cause headaches if you took too much. One of the most fascinating sections is on nard, or spikenard. This was a highly prized, expensive aromatic. Dioscorides dedicates a lot of text to it, describing different types like Syrian and Indian nard. He gives incredibly detailed tests to spot fraud, like sellers adding minerals to make it heavier. Medicinally, nard was a superstar. It was used for nausea, liver problems, headaches, and even in baths to reduce inflammation. It was a true multi-purpose remedy. Next up are the powerhouse spices, cassia and cinnamon. These weren't just for baking. Dioscorides saw them as potent warming and diuretic medicines. They were used for everything from coughs and kidney complaints to freckles and menstrual conditions. Again, he stresses the importance of quality control, teaching readers how to use their senses to identify the best grades and avoid clever counterfeits. The same level of detail is given to amomum and costus, which were used for pain, gout, scorpion bites, and to help with sleep. Then we have balsam of Gilead, a substance so rare and costly it was fit for kings. Dioscorides distinguishes between the precious juice, the wood, and the fruit. He provides purity tests, like seeing how it interacts with cloth or milk. Its uses were just as legendary: clearing vision, treating chills and boils, and acting as an antidote for poisons and snake bites. It was the pinnacle of ancient luxury medicine. The book is also a treasure trove of cosmetic and perfumery knowledge. He describes how to make saifi, a sacred Egyptian temple perfume, providing a precise recipe. He discusses how saffron was used to aid sleep and reduce inflammation, but also warns that large doses are toxic. Throughout, the focus is on practical craft. He's teaching you not just what to use, but how to source it, prepare it, and use it safely. Now let's talk about oils, the carrier for so many ancient remedies. Dioscorides doesn't just say, use olive oil. He differentiates between oil from unripe olives, old olives, and wild olives, each with a specific purpose. He provides recipes for castor oil, bitter almond oil with a poison warning, and even poisonous henbane oil. They were the basis for salves, skin treatments, and digestive aids. He details how to create luxurious scented oils by steeping plants like rose, lily, marjoram, or iris in olive oil. The process was painstaking, often involving repeated infusions to increase the potency. These oils were described as warming and softening, used as liniments for muscle stiffness, convulsions, and fractures. They were also applied to the head for headaches or to calm the mind. But danger was always present. Oils from lily and cedar were explicitly noted as being poisonous. From simple oils, we moved to complex ointments. These were mixtures of oils, resins, spices, and honey or wine. They were designed to do things like promote sweat, dissolve swellings, draw out pus from ulcers, and treat a huge range of gynecological issues. The quality was judged by scent, smoothness, and clarity. And as always, the threat of adulteration was a constant concern for the ancient practitioner. Resins and saps were another cornerstone of his pharmacy. Myrrh, frankincense, and styrax are discussed in incredible detail. He describes how to test their authenticity by burning them and assessing the fragrance and smoke. Myrrh was a warming, drying, and sleep-inducing resin used for everything from coughs and fevers to killing worms and stopping hair loss. Frankincense was a powerful astringent for stopping bleeding and healing wounds, but he warns that in excess, it could even cause madness. Even the soot from burning these resins was valuable, used in eye medicines. Products from pine trees' bark, cones, and resin were used for ulcers, burns, coughs, and snake bites. Bitumen, or asphalt, from the Dead Sea was praised for its anti-inflammatory qualities, used for wounds, coughs, and even epilepsy. Each substance has a specific role, a specific preparation, and specific warnings. Trees and their parts were a huge part of this ancient pharmacy. Cypress leaves were cooling and astringent, used for urinary complaints and as an insect repellent. Juniper berries helped with chest complaints and convulsions, but its wood was known to be poisonous. Savin, a type of juniper, was a powerful agent for inducing menstruation and was used to expel a fetus. This highlights the dual nature of these plants. They could heal, but they could also be potent and dangerous. Rose petals were cooling and astringent, used for headaches, gum disease, and skin inflammation. Oak bark and acorns were used to stop bleeding and diarrhea. The extracts of plants like boxthorn and acacia were boiled down into a thick, honey-like consistency to create powerful astringent medicines for eye diseases, dysentery, and wounds. Every part of the plant had a potential use. And what about fruits? They weren't just food. They were medicine, graded by ripeness. Fresh cherries were good for the intestines, but dried ones were used to stop diarrhea. Quinces were a star astringent, used raw, roasted, or preserved in honey for everything from asthma to dysentery. Bitter almonds were poisonous raw, but medicinal in small doses for coughs and skin disease. Walnuts were an antidote to poison. Even figs were detailed extensively, with fresh figs loosening the bowels and dried figs being nourishing and warming, used in poultices for tumors and gargles for sore throats. What we see in Dioscorides, De Materia Medica, is a holistic system. It's a stunning blend of botany, pharmacology, gynecology, dermatology, and toxicology. The recurring themes are clear: balancing the body with warming or cooling agents, using astringents to stop discharges, and employing diuretics to cleanse. There's a constant emphasis on careful observation, precise preparation, and a deep respect for the power of nature. Dioscorides wasn't just listing plants. He was teaching a way of thinking, a method of healing that would dominate the medical world for centuries. That's our summary of the first book of Dioscorides' monumental work. It's a window into a world where every plant held a secret, and knowledge was the key to unlocking its power. Thanks for joining us in the Nerdjacker's Vault. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss our next journey into the knowledge of the ancients. See you next time.